Insert fare card. Sweet, we're off. Let's do this.
Kendall is ready to ride.
And here comes the boss.
Well, technically it's the health line, and she's taking it for the very first time.
We're just passing up all the cars.
Wave goodbye to traffic, Kendall.
I'm really impressed with how easy this has been. I can't say enough about it.
Right back at you, Kendall. It's easier than you think, Cleveland. Get your personal starter kit today and get ready to ride RTA.com.
Welcome to TV20 Summer in the City Restaurant Special. I'm your host, Leah Haslage. We know after being cooped up all winter long, you're ready for some patio dining, barbecues, and fun in the sun. Well, here's a look at a few really great Cleveland restaurants that are sure to tempt your taste buds. Nestled among apartments and condos on the Superior Viaduct Bridge is a restaurant called Luca, whose cuisine is as impressive as its beautiful view.
So Luca and I heard that this place was closed without even seeing it. We're like, we gotta have it, we gotta get it. I remember 8-10 years ago when it was Ponte Vecchio, or as soon as Ponte Vecchio opened, we came and had dinner here and it was just breathtaking and amazing. I didn't even want to leave the place. It was just amazing. And for now to be ours, it's great.
Experience and passion have driven Lola and Luca to transform this space into not just a restaurant with a great view, but a restaurant with style, elegance, and dishes as creative as the decor.
Okay, our risotto is phenomenal here, and it's hard to do. It's not easy in every restaurant. Risotto, it's a hard dish to prepare, and they do a phenomenal job here. They do a saffron risotto with a lobster tail on top. It's amazing. And we also have a pork chop with a dolce gorgonzola and wild mushroom sauce that it's been a star. Our white truffle stuffed sacchetti with white truffle cream sauce and a fig balsamic. People go crazy over it. It's nice, it's very Tuscan with the heavy cream. But Luca and Brian are very good at like seeing what the public wants and what the public likes, and usually using the fresh ingredients that are out there and they're available. And they do use the finest and freshest ingredients there are. It's great. I cannot picture this place without it. It's beautiful. We have a Michelangelo sketch. We have Picasso's. This is Godfrey, which is perfect for the bar area, and it's great.
All of the artwork displayed in Luca is available for purchase. Well, almost all of it.
He made it especially for here. And it almost sold one time, and I almost had a heart attack. So thank goodness they decided not to buy it, made it back, then we decided to buy it. So that's a piece that the restaurant owns. happy hour, yes. It's every day from 5 to 7, from open to 7. And there's a lot of $6 drinks and $6 entrees or $6 pastas, calamari, cote, salmon. It's all for $6, $6 wine, $7 martinis, which we usually have them for like 14. They're $7 for happy hour. Sunday it's from open to close, so it's from 5 to 9.
Relax and enjoy one of their signature cocktails all summer long out on their beautiful patio.
We just changed the list for the summer. We have an aviation, which is with creme de violet and gin. It's very summery and it's very, very light, perfect. We have pear martini, we have that. That should be our signature drink. It's perfect, it's really nice, very peary. And Prosecco. People love Prosecco when they come here. It goes well with the food and it's perfect for summer, and we have a lot of Proseccos to choose from. We are very heavy on Italian wines. I love Super Tuscans. I'm very about blends right now. I have a lot of Super Tuscan wines that complement the food perfectly, especially the heavy. So a lot of Italian. My menu is probably 50% of it. It's Italian wines, but I also love Californian wines, Argentinian wines, so we have it all. Our patio seats about 60 people out there, and it's great. It's still fine dining, tablecloths, and it's fine dining. We have roses, which reminds me of Florence a little bit. So it's full of roses, and it's great. You still get a view with the bridges downtown. It's still a great view, even from the patio.
And don't forget, this wonderful off-the-beaten-path destination spot has a great happy hour available every day, including Sunday evenings. The Cleveland Museum of Art underwent an over $350 million renovation, and in with that is a brand new restaurant showcasing that food is art. This is Provenance. From French to Peruvian to Russian, Provenance has a cuisine as diverse and global as their special exhibits.
So that's something that's kind of exciting about the restaurant itself, is that it's constantly changing. You never know what you're going to, taste when you come in. We encourage people to come before they go to the symphony, before they come see a movie at the Cinematheque. We're open for those times to have people come in and eat in our restaurant. And having this free museum where anyone in the city can come in at any time and experience the artwork and our cuisine and just socialize, to work on the community building. It's really important for a city like Cleveland that relies so much on food. We're pretty much like a foodie city,
The name of the restaurant is Provenance, and we wanted to play on, not only the provenance of the art in the building, because it is a big deal, but also where we get our food from.
Our entrees are made with the same kind of artisanal qualities as the artwork that you would see on the walls in the museum. We really pride ourselves on the way it's presented to you. We want the experience to be as memorable as seeing the Van Gogh exhibit.
We think that food is such an integral part of life that we want to make sure that it's presented in that sort of way. And being in this building, we try to make sure that it imitates art as much as possible. At lunch, it's been the Waldorf salad. That's probably our #1 seller. It's bib lettuce with apples, poached chicken, grapes, and walnuts, and a creamy thyme dressing. Probably one of the bigger signature dishes is always the trout. It's Idaho trout with crimson lentils, haricot vert and baby carrots, and then a melted leek brown butter sauce.
Each plate at Provenance is definitely a masterpiece. And the cocktails? Well, they're a work of art all their own.
We do a thyme and ginger, which is Stoli vodka, fresh thyme, ginger simple syrup. We have a Provenance martini, which is made with gin and vodka, and it has a wisp of absinthe on top, which is nice. Coming in after work, you know, not having to sit in rush hour traffic, you can come here, have a cocktail and some calamari, and then just wait for the rush hour traffic to cease before you go home.
The Contemporary Cafe is a great option for those on the go.
The cafe is meant to be more of a quick service. It's still all made from scratch to order. We don't pre-make anything there. When you come up, you order it. It's made right in front of you, so it's about anywhere from a 5 to 10 minute wait. We have things like the flatbreads or the pizzas and, you know, hamburgers, some melted sandwiches and things like that. So it's meant to be on that quicker service for people that just want to grab a bite.
Provenance features entrees inspired from all over the world, but their ingredients are all from right here in Northern Ohio.
So we, you know, purchase as much as possible from local inside of 150 miles from here.
We would like the flavors of the ingredients to be showcased in their most natural state, and to have the trout taste like trout and not taste like the seasoning that we put on the trout. We rely on the flavors that are naturally given with the ingredients that we're using.
Provenance isn't just about their restaurant space. They also cater to the art museum events, like the First Friday Mixed Parties, and of course, Summer Solstice.
Yes, Summer Solstice is getting to be known as probably one of the biggest parties in Cleveland. It's a big event. We sell about 5,000 to 8,000 tickets depending on the weather. We have it outside back in the 1916 building. There's a big stage set up. We do some food stands on the side. We do about 4 or 5 selections that you can have, and then, you know, drinks. Makes it more like a fair sort of thing. We try to make sure that we're still doing, you know, what's true to Provenance and Provenance cafes.
We do the First Friday mixes every month, and they vary in theme. We've done masquerade ball, we've had fashion shows, we have different DJs come in, and it's pretty much just a social event.
It's a perfect way to end a day at the Cleveland Museum of Art by having some delicious cuisine over at Provenance. And don't forget, they are open later on Wednesdays and Fridays.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
Old World meets new at Sturley's Country House. This Cleveland landmark takes traditional Eastern European food and pairs it with new brews.
Having originally opened in 1954 as the Bona Cafe, Sturley's Country House has changed more than just its name over the years.
Frank added on to the place as he had money. Didn't want to get any loans from any banks or borrow from anybody. As he accumulated, he would add on another 500 square feet, add on another 1,000 square feet, that eventually built up the top to make it look like his father's hunting lodge in Slovenia. It's been an ever-evolving work in progress, but it's always, we've tried maintaining the same tradition of the place where it's a very family-friendly place. Always have live polka music on Friday and Saturday night, and it's the traditional Eastern European Slovenian fare. I'd say the top 3 dishes that we have are classic Wiener Schnitzel. It's hand-pounded veal cutlet off the leg. It's basically, if you've had veal Parmesan, you've had Wiener Schnitzel. It's dredged in flour, egg washed, and breaded, and then it's pan-fried. Just typically served with a lemon. That's all it really needs.
Try their chicken paprikash. This famous Hungarian dish is served over dumplings. And of course, their house-made Slovenian sausage.
I approached the owner about getting a smoker. I was thinking of a small, little, like 48-inch tall box. Instead, he went out, he bought a gigantic Texas 1,000-gallon smoker. So now we can do about 250 pounds at a time. So we're making everything in-house. Everything's getting double ground, cased here, and smoked here. There's dozens and dozens of restaurants opening up and closing. And they all have new concepts and, you know, their own twist on American classics and, you know, new wave American, which is great. It's great for the city. But I think one of the things that gets not necessarily overlooked, but not as frequented as much as some of the staples in Cleveland, that what makes Cleveland Cleveland. I definitely think Sturley's is that. We've continued the tradition for the past 60 years, and you know, we're going to keep carrying it on for another 60.
In keeping with Frank Sturley's tradition of expanding the country house, a beer garden was created, bridging the gap between the old world and the new.
The idea for the beer garden is to have a different concept of food that's kind of similar to what we do inside at Sturley's, but at Sturley's, the place has been open for 60-some years, and trying to touch the menu or do anything different for any of the foodies in town, it's pretty difficult to do. We've been trying to stay in touch with the old generation and keeping that tradition alive and trying to bridge that gap between the old and the new, and you know, keep that intact. There's a little bit of a carryover as to what Sturley's does inside that we can do outside with the smoked sausages or bratwurst or spicy Hungarian. There's a 36-foot bar outside. We have a beer cooler outside with a tap system out there. Right now we're getting 5 beers made for us. They've all got Sturley's tap handles names. Our Bloody Mary bar, we're making our own Bloody Mary mix. One of the nice things about our Bloody Mary bar is we're house pickling in 20 different items, whether they're cucumbers, peppers, onions, okra, some kind of random things to put in your Bloody Mary. I like my Bloody Mary spicy, so we have half a dozen types of pickled peppers and pickled cucumbers and stuff out there. Buy a pitcher Bloody Mary, for 3-4 people, go up and make whatever you want. Add things as you go. The Cleveland Fleet will be the second Saturday of every month. The first one we did was in July, and they brought about 80 vendors, and we maybe saw 2,000 people. By the time we had the last one in October, maybe 105, 110 vendors, probably upwards of 6,000-7,000 people. They're all local vendors. There's people that are selling spices, there's people that make soap, I think the last one that we had last month, there was 30-some food vendors, including us. It's great for all the small businesses in Cleveland, and it's great to get everybody in from the west side, from the east side suburbs, and people from the neighborhood to come back down to 55th.
And with all the expansion and revitalization happening over in the East 55th neighborhood, Sturley's will also be a part of it with their brand new brewery opening in spring of 2015. Located on the Far East Side is a Cleveland independent restaurant that has an eclectic menu that changes daily and utilizes their beautiful rooftop garden. This is Bistro 185.
I was in the catering business for over 20 years, and we always thought Gee, it would be really great to own a restaurant. The building is great, it has good bones, it's got a little bit of a history to it. It's always fun to see people and meet people who came to this building when it was first opened as Fritz's Tavern. So it was built as a dance hall and a bar, and they were famous for their Friday fish fries. We do keep the Friday fish fry. We've been doing it for years. We do a haddock and a traditional mac and cheese, and we sell out every Friday. The area has so much to offer historically and culturally, and people have a lot of roots here, as opposed to going to a new area like Chagrin or downtown. And part of it is too that there's a history here. I think people come in and they feel a real sense of comfort when they walk in. A lot of people say to us, oh, it reminds me of a restaurant or a bar that you would visit on the corner if you lived in New York or in Chicago. So what I like to say is that we're a restaurant with a good bar, that we change our menu all the time. We source our own food, we source our product, especially in the spring and summertime. We have a rooftop garden. So it's just been a real plus to know that you're eating something that has just been picked maybe minutes before it's been on your plate.
And while the menu varies daily, taking advantage of what's in season, there is something you can count on not changing.
So Monday we do a pork shank with a raspberry chipotle sauce that we make in-house. Tuesday we cook our own corned beefs and we make Reuben sandwiches. Wednesday we roast up all our own briskets and we do brisket and mashers and gravy. Thursday is fresh roast turkey breast and mashers and gravy. And Fridays are fish fries. So those are kind of our signature lunchtime, very homey, very comfort food. People know when they come in, okay, I'm going there, Thursday for the turkey and mashers, and then we supplement that with very creative salads and sandwiches. And for dinner time, we have a few signature dishes. One of them is our steak bistro Oscar, which is tenderloin filet, a crab cake and shrimp with hollandaise sauce. We're known for our fish and seafood, so we do a wonderful scallop dish with a corn salsa and polenta. And we're doing a Dr. Pepper short rib with a mascarpone polenta with it. Those are just a few of our signature dishes. And even though we're not a vegan restaurant, we do offer at least 1 or 2 vegan to vegetarian items on our menu every night. And we've had a very wonderful response. We've been doing vegan dinners for, I would say, at least 4 years now. And it's been very, very popular.
Every month, Bistro 185 features a special theme night. For more information on those and other upcoming events, check out bistro185.com and call 216-481-9635 to make a reservation. And here's a fun fact you may not know.
From what I understand, there's a door that really not too many people know about, and that's where they used to slide the fish down. So they would get the fish off of Lake Erie, the perch, and they had a slide, I want to say, and they would slide the fish down, and all the fish was cleaned in the basement. Who knew?
Bistro 185 has been a labor of love for owners Mark and Ruth Levine, and it's evident in every mouth-watering dish. Over on Cleveland's far west side in Camp's Corner is the home of the only authentic Irish pub and restaurant, PJ McIntyre's. The name PJ McIntyre's is derived from owner Patrick Campbell's first name, Patrick Joseph, and his mother's maiden name, McIntyre. The journey began for this family-owned business in 2006.
My cousin is in the food and beverage industry, and I was on the road for a numerous amount of years, and every time I came home, he'd say, "Whenever you're ready to open a bar, restaurant, let's talk." So that opportunity came in 2006, and when you come into PJ McIntyre's, you see the nice warm wood, you see the fireplace here, you see the stonework, and you, like it brings you, even though it's a big building, it really wraps it into a nice intimate feeling when you're here. It's the original tin ceiling. We bought expensive paint that has actually crushed copper pennies. So literal, like they're pennies crushed that are in that paint up there. It's great just to invest money, invest time in the city that you grew up in. Both my parents, my father was from Ireland, and my mother was from two immigrant parents as well. And all grew up in Cleveland, worked hard in Cleveland, kind of went through, suffered in Cleveland as well. And to actually have a business in the city I grew up in is great. Whenever, if someone says, where's your home? This is home. Like I said, I was on the road for 7 to 8 years, and I knew I was always going to come home, and I'm glad to be here, carrying on the tradition. You come in here, we have an all-day Irish breakfast where you can't get too many places around. It has 11 items. You get the rashers, which is bacon. You get the bangers, which is sausage. You get eggs, beans. You get white pudding, black pudding, which is blood sausage, mushrooms, tomatoes, hash browns, toast. It's just a huge heaping of a traditional Irish breakfast that everyone in Ireland and, let's say, England are used to having. Our traditional fish and chips. It's a 10-ounce piece of our own battered haddock. So you have hand-cut steak fries, and then this fish that is like, oh my gosh, the size of your forearm, that you're about to eat. We have ribs that are just to die for. I mean, obviously, I'm a little biased. We have chicken wings. They're 45 cents each, Sunday through Thursday. Monday, we have an buy one, get one free burger. The burgers are outstanding. Comes on a pretzel bun, which is a huge seller. On Saturdays, we have steak night. You get a 7-ounce bistro filet for $7.99, a baked potato, vegetable. I mean, it's hard to beat.
And PJ McIntyre's takes pride in more than just their food.
Like we sponsor the Cleveland Rovers, which are crazy rugby guys that are the nicest, most polite young men you will find. Like you think crazy, oh my God, these guys are wild, and they sing and they take their shirts off and they drink, and they are the nicest guys. We have a house band here called Mary's Lane that are they're awesome. They capture PJ McIntyre's all in one. We sponsor St. Pat's Gaelic football team. We sponsor numerous softball teams. We are the home to the Great Lakes Pipe Band. We have a dance school called the Brady Campbell School of Irish Dance, where we have a dance studio above here. So it's like your own little community center. We have all the above. You come up, you drop your kids off at dance, and you come down and you have a few beverages. Everyone helps each other out here. Everyone has each other's back. Especially in the neighborhood too. Everyone thinks, oh, it's competition. Not at all. Everyone here gets along, and it's great that we all feed off each other, and we create our own little entertainment district.
And it wouldn't be an authentic Irish pub without an authentic happy hour.
Happy hour. My happy hour is great. We have 2 happy hours actually. We have a happy hour from Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., which is outstanding. It's pretty much $1 off anything. And then we also have during the week, Monday through Thursday, for the ones that work during the day and get out kind of second shift. We have a reverse happy hour from 9 p.m. to midnight. On Wednesdays, we have Whiskey Wednesdays, which is awesome. It could range from Fireball to our highest value whiskey, which is our Jameson Vintage, which is $28 a shot. You come on Wednesdays, it's only $14. If you like Fireball, come on Wednesdays, it's $2. Hard to beat.
PJ McIntyre's patio is the perfect place for the perfect pint.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Todos tenemos un sueño. El mío era ver el océano. Y con un poco de ayuda, lo logré.
Little Italy is known for its pastas and desserts, but what you may not know is it's home to the first and only federally bonded winery and restaurante in Cleveland. Let's check out Vino Veritas.
In 1986, I wrote it in my high school yearbook that I wanted to open an Italian restaurant. So when the landlord offered the space to me, I did some research on another passion I had of making wine and loving wine, and to get a winemaker's license and utilize the space for winemaking, having wine made in Cleveland, as well as having an Italian restaurant. This spot originally was attached to the space next door. It was just a vanilla box. There wasn't even power or water in here. Ran all the water lines, all the power lines. I did the lighting into the brick and made it what it is today. The ceiling was pretty beat up. It was original tin from 1903, and there was a lot of holes and crown molding missing, and I patched it up, cleaned it up, and painted this metallic copper. What I tried to do is involve other people in the neighborhood. My bar top is made up of over 4,700 corks. I laid them in, framed it, and poured liquid acrylic over it. I wanted these really unique tables. I wanted a rustic Tuscan feel. So there's this guy around the corner, Iman, he owns the Algebra Tea House. I said I wanted 14 tables that interlock, like a puzzle. And so we did that, and we have these great tables. And then I told him about this booth I wanted in the corner that would seat, 8 to 10 people. So he made a 50-inch round, crazy-shaped table out of a tree trunk. One day while I was constructing the place, I had a bunch of these corks that I saved for 10 years in the window, and there was these 4 little girls out there pointing at the corks, and I found out they went to the Institute of Art, so I commissioned them to paint our murals on the walls using my mom's paints that she had left to me. I wanted to have, like a real, historic look and Tuscan look, but also I wanted it to be really homey and non-pretentious and comfortable for anyone that visited us.
Since opening Vino Veritas in 2013, Anthony has expanded his menu to include your favorite Italian dishes.
Originally, I was just going to do tapas here. I was making our sauce homemade, which is my recipe, and putting it on our pizzas. And people were just loving it. And they said, you got to do something else like spaghetti and meatballs. So we do have a spaghetti and meatballs for $10 with garlic bread, and it is amazing. And it is a marinara, so it can be done without the meatballs. And then we have gorgeous, just wonderful cheeses of the world cheese boards with or without the charcuterie, the cured meats, and nuts and berries and fruit. It's just really something. The margherita pizza is wonderful. It's like a true thin crusted flatbread pizza that is like you'd see in Sicily or in New York City. And the margherita pizza, we use homemade pesto and fresh tomatoes and fresh buffalo mozzarella. And it's really nice.
Vino Veritas,
Latin for, in wine there's truth. And nothing's more true than Anthony's passion for winemaking.
One of the neatest unknown facts about Vino Veritas is we are Cleveland's only federally bonded winery. We actually make our wine here, so it's not just like a wine bar. You know, we're a winery and a restaurante. Our main one that we do the best with is the Sicilian Stallion. No pun intended with that Sicilian thing, but I'm Sicilian. We did some blending with that, and we call it an artful blend wine. And we blended some Italian grapes, Sangiovese and Barbera, and it just gives a nice, well-balanced, dry but fruity finished wine that goes really well with our spaghetti and meatballs. Chardonnay is amazing. It's a little buttery, it has apple and pineapple, with just a touch of oak. It was in French oak for 6 months, so it's just wonderful. About 4.5 years ago, when I ended up moving here just because I wanted to do something different with my life, and then I fell into this space, which ended up leading into my lifetime dream of opening an Italian restaurant. I just want to give back to the community, and I know that when my customers leave here, they leave here happy.
And don't forget Vino Veritas after a great night on the town, especially over in University Circle. It's the perfect spot for a summer night nightcap. From skyline to shoreline, Cleveland has it all, including this hidden gem, Sunset Grill.
It's been almost, or maybe a little over 20 years ago, Dan T. Moore saw this property. It was owned by the Great Lakes Dredge and Dock, and he wanted to build a large-scale marina to make the lakefront available to the public. And when he did, this property had this building, which was an old sawmill built in the late 1800s, and several other buildings here. And he decided to add a floor to it. It was just a dirt floor at that time, and make it into a restaurant. Whiskey Island and the marina and the Sunset Grill is a secluded place right in downtown Cleveland, but you would never know it. We're close to the city, but we're not near the city. It's more of an island destination where everybody can come, and you're just only miles away. And most people have lived there all their lives, and they still don't even know it exists. Kind of gonna make it an island feel where people can come and just relax. We wanna make it comparable to Put-in Bay in Sandusky, where you can come to Cleveland and get the island feel. It's a destination, and we want people to just come down here, enjoy themselves, listen to some good outside entertainment, get something good to eat, and just enjoy themselves. What's unique about our food here is most of it is cooked outside on barbecue grills. We have a smoker, we smoke our pork and our ribs, so people get that feeling of burgers cooking and hot dogs. And this year we're gonna add some seafood. We have always had very fresh Lake Erie perch, but we're gonna hopefully add some shrimp and some other seafood and some healthier choices for everybody to enjoy themselves. This year we're going to add a frozen drink hunt. We've got a couple of sponsors that want to come in here and help us redesign a shed that we kind of have here and turn it into a tiki hut. And we're also going to go with the island theme outside with some bamboo, and so we have that island feel down here.
One way to get to Whiskey Island is the same way it was discovered, by boat.
We have 230 wet slips here in our marina. We also have a rack storage building that can hold another 230 boats. We were destroyed by Superstorm Sandy, so we were lucky enough to rebuild. We have all new docks here. We offer transit dockage if people want to come and spend a night or a few nights here, or if they just want to come into the restaurant and bar for a couple of hours, we have some dockage for those also.
Adjacent to Whiskey Island is Wendy Park, the perfect place to play.
We also have a 30-acre park that has a small beach. It has a wooded area that has become a great place for wildlife, and bird watchers come down here. You can picnic here. We have volleyball 6 nights a week with 1,200 volleyball players. It's a great place to bring your pets. Whiskey Island is probably one of the greatest places to watch the air show and July 4th fireworks. You can sit by the lake and just see everything from the park or anywhere around the grill. We have a lot of green space here, which is unique, so people can just come down, sit outside, watch the boats and the water, and enjoy the entertainment.
Make friends all summer long at the Sunset Grill.
I am Michael. I love to recycle. I do it with my bicycle. I do it from my tricycle. I do it in the summertime, or even when there's an icicle. I place it all in a special bin. Plastic bottles, glass, and paper, again and again. Keep them together, rinsed and cleaned. But no plastic bags, please, or you'll damage the machines. So join me and your neighbors. Recycling's no chore. Check out the new website to find out some more.
Well, that's all for your TV20 Summer in the City restaurant special. For more information on these restaurants, check out our blog at TV20cleveland.com. I'm your host, Leah Haslage. Thanks for watching.